I'm Linwe. I am part of Antipode Geek Bellydancing, and you're about to learn some scary stuff about me. So without further ado, 50 facts about Linwe. I am 5 foot 3 inches tall, and the 3 inches definitely count. I am mostly German descent. I do have a little bit of English thrown in there somewhere, but it's almost all German. Never been to Germany or England, but I'd really like to travel to either of them, or really anywhere out of the country someday. My favorite animal is the horse. I've been riding since I was a little girl, all different kinds of disciplines, and I'd spend all my day at the barn if I could, and bring my horses in my house if I could. I majored in creative writing. I like to make up words that don't really exist sometimes, and I say I have artistic licensing because it was creative writing. I only recently started belly dancing. I used to country line dance at a bar when I was in college, which was great fun until the bar went out of business. And then I did Zumba to fill the void, and then now belly dancing, which is like way fun and I really love it. I once won a mechanical bull riding contest. I think I might have had an advantage being the only horseback rider in the competition, but it was a lot of fun. I have 3 older brothers. They vary in 6 to 12 years older than me. I am the only girl, and I can throw a pretty good punch thanks to my brothers. I particularly like the American Civil War, and Gettysburg is one of my favorite places to visit. I'm terrified to fly. I really hate flying. After I saw the movie Castaway, that made it a lot worse. Really interesting since I love to travel, but, you know, planes and me don't get along. I love reading. I'm usually reading at least 3 books at a time, and I usually reread the books after I'm done with them because I just like reading. I love anything Middle-earth. I would just say Lord of the Rings, but now, thanks to The Hobbit finally coming out, I'm just going to classify it as Middle-earth. Anything and everything Middle-earth. Love it. I share a birthday with Harry Potter, and for those of you who don't know, that is July 31st. In case you want to send me stuff on my birthday. Wink wink. I once spent a summer working as a wrangler at a ranch. Probably the best summer of my life. Lots of hard work, but it was well worth it. I staff at a live-action role-playing game, or LARP, called Wyvern Rising. Tamariel is a player there, and I accidentally got her killed at her first event. I am a really huge tomboy. What do you expect with 3 older brothers? I normally don't wear any makeup at all, except maybe a bit of eye color. Obviously I'm wearing makeup right now. That'll be explained later on. I love cats, and if I could be any animal, it would be a cat. They're super flexible. They can sleep all day, and no one would care if they didn't do anything but sleep. I couldn't do that. If I slept all day, I'd be like, oh my god, I could be doing so many other things. But cats can do it and get away with it. Jealous. I have a pair of lucky cowboy boots. I've had them for years. I got them when I went out to the ranch. They've been through a lot with me. They've been repaired several times. The shoemaker refuses to see them again. And my mother tried throwing them away a couple times when I was in college. I actually snuck them out of the garbage can on 2 occasions. And I'm planning on putting it in my will that I wish to be buried in these cowboy boots. I am involved with community theater. I work with a local group, the Nuremberg Community Players. My first production with them was a spoof on the Titanic movie called The Gigantic. I was Daisy. I also just got done with a production for a dinner theater tonight, which is why I am still in my makeup. So now you know why I'm wearing makeup. I have a not-so-secret obsession with dwarves. started about 2 years ago when I got to play a really awesome dwarf at Wyvern Rising LARP. Got to blow up a bunch of stuff and drink a lot of fake beer. The Hobbit movie that came out in December definitely fanned the fire with that obsession. I really love writing, hence the major in creative writing. I am working on 2 novels which I hope someday to finish and have published, and I do have 2 poems already published. I work in customer service for an online company that sells horse products. Basically, I get to talk to people all day who are like me and love horses. So it's kind of like getting paid to talk about my favorite subject. I love country music. Country music is my favorite kind of music, but most of my friends hate country music, so I don't really get to listen to it much. My favorite band, however, is not country. My favorite band is Nightwish. When I was in college, I joined a judo club. The physical challenge was a lot of fun, and my first night there, I actually got the nickname Anaconda. Not going to go into the details on that one. I had to quit, though, after a couple months because I tore my shoulder and it was interfering with horseback riding. Nothing's allowed to interfere with horseback riding. Speaking of judo, I once choked a guy out on accident while goofing around at a graduation party. It was a little bit embarrassing, more so for him than me, but we like to laugh about it now, and if he's watching this, I'm sorry. My favorite food is ice cream. I love it. I could eat it any time of the day. I've eaten it for breakfast quite a few times. I actually have myself on a restricted diet for ice cream, otherwise I probably would eat it for every meal. I love going to the Renaissance Fair. I always go dressed as nobility, so I have this really ridiculous dress with a skirt that's as big as a satellite dish, and it's lots of fun, and it's one of my favorite places to go. My favorite drink is orange juice. I love orange juice any time of the day. It's not just for breakfast. Oddly enough, I like orange juice with pizza. That is if I don't have beer available. And I also like orange juice with chocolate chip cookies. I don't dunk it in the orange juice, but the rich chocolate, most people grab milk. I get orange juice. My favorite actor is Viggo Mortensen. Obviously, he was in Lord of the Rings, and he was really awesome, but I've seen him in some other movies, and I just really like how in-depth he goes with studying his character and portraying the role. When I was younger, I used to go sleep in the barn during the summer. I thought that was a really fun way to camp out, and plus the barn cats would share my sleeping bag with me, which was lots of fun. I am terrified of spiders, like beyond terrified of spiders. I once thought there was a spider on me, and before someone could say, oh, it's a piece of duct tape on your shoulder, I had most of my clothes stripped off and I was in the backyard screaming and crying, and the neighbors thought I was a lunatic. I love ethnic food, just about any kind. Mexican, Chinese, Indian, Thai. I don't have a very high tolerance for spice, though, so sometimes I try ethnic foods and my mouth cries a little bit. One of my greatest moments in horseback riding was a benefit show for the American Cancer Society. My grandmother had been recently diagnosed with liver cancer, and I went to the show and I actually won my division. And I really feel like my horse should get all the credit there because he ran faster than he ever did that day. And it was just a really nice moment winning for my grandmother. I love baking and experimenting with cooking. Usually turns out pretty good. Or maybe I should say pretty tasty. I hate cleaning up afterwards, though. I've had a couple really bad wrecks with horseback riding. The worst was in 8th grade. The horse that I was riding flipped over on top of me while we were running. I partially dislocated my jaw, and I still suffer from lower back and hip complications from that wreck. I also had a horse somersault completely while I was at a gallop once. That one was really scary, but we were both okay. My favorite car is a Ford F-350, which is in fact a truck. My favorite belly dance move is probably the shoulder shimmy, because I can finally do them. I couldn't do them for the longest time, and now I can, and I love that fact. I also really like doing back bends. In high school, I was involved with theater, flag and rifle, and soccer. Oh, and the Let's Not Do Our Homework Club. I love garlic. I love garlic. Lots of garlic. If there were such thing as vampires, I would never have to worry about them because I eat that much garlic. In my downtime, I like to watch Disney movies. All sorts of Disney movies. Lion King, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. I don't know. Reminiscing about childhood. Good times. My favorite movie growing up was Peter Pan, and not the Disney version of Peter Pan. The theatrical play version with Mary Martin. I still have all the lyrics from the songs memorized. Watched it all the time until my tape went mysteriously missing and my parents didn't know anything. I do have a new copy now, which I watch frequently. I don't like kids. I really don't like kids at all. The drool thing, and they're always screaming. I just can't deal with them. Obviously, my brothers never call me up to babysit. My first belly dance experience was at the Wyvern Rising show that Antipode did. I got to kind of do a little bit of impromptu dancing the night before when they were doing a really informal show. My theory was just smile really big and wave my arms around, but obviously I'm actually learning how to do it now, which is way better theory. My favorite sport of all is bull riding. Yes, it is a sport. I have stacks and stacks of VHS tapes that I recorded from bull riding and various rodeos on TV. I'm really sad because I don't have a VHS player anymore, but I still have all the tapes. I got to meet the horse from Walking Dead. You know, the one that got eaten by all the zombies. Well, he's still alive, and he's really cool, and he does a lot of other really neat tricks. For being involved with a geek belly dancing group, I'm actually not very geeky. I don't really know much sci-fi stuff. I don't do games of any sort. I do LARP, and I love Middle-earth anything, if you remember from earlier. I do like to play one computer game, Might and Magic, from like 1996. It's my favorite game. I hate the dentist. I think I get it from my mom. She hates the dentist too. Nothing personal, I just don't like the dentist. I love the smell of coffee. I think it smells great. I can't stand the taste though. I'd be like the worst customer ever in a coffee shop because I would just stand there smelling all the coffee and never buying anything. I really don't like thrill rides at all. I did go on the castle ride in Universal Studios for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. They don't really tell you what the ride's gonna be like, and I got hoodwinked into going on it. It's a thrill ride. I didn't like it. I was shaking when I got off, and the ride attendant had to ask if I was able to walk. Kind of embarrassing. One of my goals in life is to become a jouster. I really want to become a jouster. I'd like to do mounted combat, do different demonstrations. It'd be fun. I always wear my cowboy boot necklace. It never comes off. I had another one and I lost it in college. I was devastated. And my mother got me a replacement from New Mexico. And it never ever comes off. Well, thanks for watching. Now that you've learned what a weird oddball I am, be sure to like the page. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And also check out the links below. There's some pretty neat stuff down there.